How do you get better at sales calls? Another question. I don't know if there's like a right or wrong answer, but this is how I would tackle how to get better at a skill, because that's really the question you're asking, right? So I think their education and testing is the two biggest things for probably sales, right? Because if you're not very good at it, you've got to understand sales, the process, how to handle the calls, the objections. But all of that means nothing unless you actually go and start doing a lot of it. Okay. So if I was trying to get better at a skill, and that could be anything, right? Facebook ads, you take the education, then you've got to test it. Okay. So if I was trying to improve sales for a team member, I would educate them, and then I would make them do some calls. So number 3, I would review and audit stage 1 and 2, right? So stage 1 and 2 here, and then I would audit. And then what would I do after that? I would go back. So I would learn, implement, review, find the gaps, the areas I'm still weak on, go back, educate myself on those gaps, implement and test it, and then review and audit again. Does it make sense? That's really what learning a skill comes down to. If you guys want to learn Google ads, Facebook ads, learn sales, learn copywriting, this fundamentally is what you got to do, right? So I think the only other component that's important to understand is, like most things in life, people are naturally suited to different things. So if you've done a lot of this and you're not progressing, it's okay to know that's a weakness, right? If you're just not naturally, like I grew up, I think most entrepreneurs, I was selling candy in school. I was always in my group of friends when we were young. They would joke that, you know, Rudy could sell us on anything. If you wanted to go to the movies, no one wanted to go to the movies. 10 minutes later, everyone's going to the movies, because he could sell people and influence people, right? And I think that's, if you look at a lot of successful entrepreneurs, they have a fundamental trait that made them really good at influence and persuasion, just to be successful, right? Any president or anyone that's progressed really high up in life, generally, or business, financially, they generally are good at influencing and persuading people, okay? Not like in a bad way, just in a way that aligns with their goal, right? That's what being a leader is. So if you're really not good at that and you didn't grow up ever like good at that, then it's harder to change fundamental traits. It can happen, but again, another example in sport, right? Every one of you probably played some form of sport at some point as a child, maybe. You were naturally better at some sports than you were at others, right? You were naturally gifted in school at different subjects, all of us here, okay? And that's because fundamentally, naturally in our DNA, we had traits that pushed us one way or another. So there's also a point where you realize your weakness. And if it is literally sales, it becomes the key thing you hire for, right? And if it's the one thing stopping your business growing, you spend 4 hours a day trying to hire for it or get better at it, or 5 hours a day, because it's the one thing. Just like if the one thing is Facebook ads or copy, you put all your attention into fixing it. You don't kind of write a headline and go, okay, I tried to make copy work in my business, I'll come back 2 weeks later. It's like you don't put up a job post for an hour and go, yeah, I'll come back 2 weeks later and pray that it's going to recruit people. You message 100 people, you ask everyone you know, you post in and you become obsessive with that one thing that stops your business growing, whether it's copywriters, hiring a salesperson, whatever it might be. And again, that's another, I think, good business lesson for all of you, because it's very easy to, the thing that you need the most is in front of you. Some of you even said here, I asked you guys, what's the one thing that's stopping you from growing, right? Who put their one thing in already? A lot of you, okay? So now ask yourself, or even write in chat, do you spend 6 to 8 hours a day obsessing over that one thing to fix it? Just put yes or no in chat. Okay, so some of you are saying yes, good. Some of you are saying no. So if you are right, obviously a big part of business is making the right decisions. Not all of you will even be right on your one thing, that's okay. But if you are right on the one thing, and it's the biggest thing, and it really genuinely is, you should just obsess over fixing it. However, you should spend whatever money, you should attend whatever course, you should give whatever's needed to find that solution, okay? Imagine it this way. If you guys all woke up at 3 a.m. and there was water flooding on your face and the house was flooding, would you, biggest problem right now in your house, would you go, oh, let me just put a post on a Thumbtack or on Craigslist for a plumber? Okay, good that it's posted. Yeah, family, don't worry, the house is flooding, but I put the post, so I'll check back in a few days, interview a couple of people. I'll let you know how it goes. Would any of you do that? No, right? If water was flooding through your house, but you're doing it for your business. Yeah, you know the problem, and you put the post on Upwork, and then you move on with your life and check it a week later, get 7 lame applications because you didn't follow my SOP, you didn't spend the time inviting 300 people, and then 2 weeks later your business didn't change and you still don't have anyone good. And then you wonder why in a year your business hasn't really grown, because you take that same mindset and lack of action in everything you do. And that's not the way to be a good entrepreneur. The difference for like me and many ultra successful entrepreneurs is, if I know I need to hire someone, even though I'm a CEO with 70 employees, operations managers, HR directors that handle hiring, I will be on Upwork clicking invite till 11 at night, till my eyes bleed, cursing, why am I doing this? But I know I'm doing this because it's the biggest thing. And instead of waiting till tomorrow for my HR director to do it, I want to do it now because I'm obsessed in growing my business. And that's the difference between millionaires or ultra millionaires and failed entrepreneurs. Big part of it is that obsession in action. Okay. And I've gone off a little now, but again, I think this is good advice for you guys that are more startups and newer to business and entrepreneurship, to understand how entrepreneurs that are ultra successful think, feel, and act. And it's not just me. Like a lot of my friends are 10, 50, 100 million, a couple of billionaires, and we all share this common trait, right? And so the more you can follow that and be like that, the more successful you'll become.